I'm curious on how your videos get so many views compared to other videos about Sierra. You do a great job making these topics interesting, but I never imagined that many people being interested in an IP that has been dead for 30 years. Good question. I want to be careful in how I word it because I don't want to like throw other people under the bus or anything and be like, this is why I'm so awesome and other people aren't, because that's not the way I think of it. But I think a lot of it is packaging and like mindset. So for example, people are not searching for Quest for Glory 2. That's not they don't care about that. You're right, they don't. That's why the start of it is how speedrunners destroyed, because people like speedrun histories, and when you learn that a game has been destroyed, like that's interesting, right? And then the entire video is done from the assumption that people haven't played the game. I think that's an important part of it. Like I always assume that the person watching my video has not played it at all. And so when I think about what to explain and what not to explain, every writing decision is affected by that. This is the big Longbow video, right? What it is a retrospective. I mean, that's what it is. It's a review retrospective of it. I think if I had called it Conquest of the Longbow Retrospective, nobody would watch it. Nobody would click on it. Because nobody cares about Conquest of the Longbow. And that's the sort of mindset you have to adjust. Is that if you want people to watch it, you have to understand where they're coming from. And if you sort of market it, and I mean marketing in kind of the general sense, not in like the sleazy sort of connotations that you sometimes have with that, but marketing just as in how do you present what it is that you're giving to people so that they will be likely to be interested in it if they're the sort of person who would be interested in it. And so the thing is, no, like if you just see something like random game title retrospective, nobody cares. And why would they, right? And so what is sort of a hook? What's something interesting? Well, I don't know if it was the best way to do it, but it worked for me. But the worst Robin Hood in gaming is also the best. And it's not just that it's a little clickbaity, but it is true. That's the thing. Like, and that is what I at least try to do for all of these, no matter how clickbaity is, that it has to be accurate. And it is accurate because the whole thing that I find interesting about Conquest of the Longbow is how bad of a Robin Hood you could be. And so it's the worst in that you are the worst Robin Hood like character you can be, but it's the best in that it's like the best Robin Hood game. So like a title like this is interesting, and a thumbnail like this is interesting too. Like you've got Robin Hood without a string in on his bow. And fire in the background. That's interesting. And so I think a lot of what sets it apart is really honing in on who the audience is and crafting it around that. To give another example, I could have called this video down here, The Making of StairQuest. Right? Nobody knows what StairQuest is. The game that's nothing but stairs, which I stole from an article, and I admit that I stole it from an article in the first couple of lines. That's a cool title. That's an interesting idea. It's a game that's nothing but stairs. I think that's what it is that like when you're making any sort of art, you are crafting a specific message for a specific audience. And in my case, the specific audience has always been people who might be interested in these topics, but who have never played the games before. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what it is. So the direct answer to your question, so you asked, you never imagined that many people being interested in an IP that's been dead for 30 years. They're not. They're not interested in King's Quest. They're interested in some super nerd breaking down an old game that they love and exposing all the nooks and crannies. No matter what that is. It's kind of the... do you know the YouTuber Technology Connections? Okay. This dude has videos about like wattages and the shape of a lantern. Like if you were to ask, why are people watching a video about how much thrust a ceiling fan produces? It's not that you care about how much thrust, it's that you care about the way that he talks about it and explains it. I think this is a perfect example of like the beauty of YouTube is that it's like it's not about the thing itself, it's about people explaining their niche interests in a way that excites them is exciting to me or to the people. This YouTuber sold me on an old toaster. Yes, that's exactly my point, right? Is like I don't care about toasters. But how to design an actually good toaster with lessons from the 1940s and the way that he talks about it, like, that's interesting because it's a super nerd talking about his nerdy passion, and that's cool, right? So I think that's the answer. Sometimes he's explained something that's so pointless, but at the same time, how the topic explored is the fun part. Exactly. Yep. I like the one where he talks about like his microwave and how an old microwave works. The antique microwave oven that's better than yours. I love that so much. Anyway, that's why I think people, you know, when I do see people kind of talk about YouTube and just art and media, you know, generally, that kind of misses the point of all of it. Like, it's not about the thing. It's about how you feel about the thing and how you share that emotion with other people.